So hello everyone, it's your girl JL Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into my affordable and drugstore picks for top 3 in each category, complexion edition. So I have been filming these all night long. I think that I'm on like my 6th or 7th video now, and I still got like 2 more to go. So I'm over here dying. Yeah, I'm dying. But hopefully I can make it through, because I'm trying to get y'all pre-film content for next week. So I don't know how much time I'm gonna have next week to film. So let's get this done. I'm gonna start off with the 3 affordable ones. So I'm gonna do the affordable stuff first, and then I'm gonna do like the drugstore stuff. Now the drugstore stuff is physical. You can walk inside like a drugstore, like Walgreens or CVS, or you know, any drugstore, not necessarily like Target or like Ulta or like Walmart, not like that. Like literally I want you to be able to walk into CVS or Walgreens or Rite Aid or wherever like drugstore they have around where you live, and be able to pick up these products. So that's what I'm saying when I say drugstore. Now with the foundations, I did a mixture of drugstore and high-end, drugstore and affordable together, so that way we didn't have to use as many. Anyway, let's get started. So the first primer I have is the Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. I love this stuff. To me, this is a good dupe for the Pat McGrath primer. I love that primer so much, but if I couldn't get it, I would gladly use this one and be fine, because it gives that nice hydrating hyaluronic acid feel to the face without the Pat McGrath price point. And you don't have to worry about the label peeling off this, because it's like plastic that they just printed on the bottle, so you ain't gotta worry about that either. Next, I have the XX Revolution Cloud Complexion Primer. This is actually on sale on Ulta's website right now. I think it's like 50% off, so it was like 10 bucks when I checked. This primer feels so good on skin, y'all. Talk about hydrating primer. This primer is amazing. I absolutely love it. This is what it looks like on the inside. It does have a nice scent to it as well. I mean, if you don't like fragrance, then you might not like it, but I think it's a nice, soft, clean scent to it. And it feels amazing on the face. Like, it is just an amazing complexion product. I meant to bring the foundation and concealer that they came out with from XX Revolution with that, because I actually really like it, but I ran off and left it at home. But it's an honorable mention for sure. Even though it wouldn't have been an honorable mention because it would have been on the affordable side. Now I only have 2 affordable and 1 drugstore here, so. Oh well, moving on. The last affordable primer I have is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer. So this is supposed to be a dupe for Hydro Grip for Milk Makeup. This stuff is really good. It's just as good as the Hydro Grip itself, and this is only, I think, like $4.99. It's under 10 bucks. And it works. So I would definitely recommend you get your hands on this and try it out, girl, because honey, they have a good dupe for the Tatcha silk canvas as well in the pot. That's really good. I didn't show that one just because I was like, I use that one more from them, and I usually just use the liquid primer I'm about to show you all. That's a dupe for the liquid Hydro Grip. So this is the Revlon Prime plus Perfecting plus Smoothing Makeup plus Skincare Primer. So this is a good dupe for the liquid silk canvas from Tatcha. It feels just as good. It feels just as nice. I would say I feel like the Tatcha silk canvas lasts a little longer, makes your skin a little bit smoother throughout the wear of your makeup. But it's like, if you can't afford to spend like the $54 on that, you can easily spend the $12 on this at CVS and just have a good old time, girl. So I would definitely recommend you get your hands on this. It is amazing. Let me see. The second one I have from the drugstore is the e.l.f. Blurring Priming Serum. This is a good dupe for if you like the Farsali Skin Tone Blur, since they don't know what they're going to do with Farsali, if they're going to come out with any more products, if they're going to do anything. You have a nice dupe for that product, and it's a 1/4 of the price. You can buy 5 of these from e.l.f. and it'll be the same price as 1 of those. So this is definitely a steal. I'm so glad I found it. It's absolutely wonderful, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. And I do use it quite a bit when I'm here, because I only have a small sample size of the liquid silk canvas that I'm trying to hoard. The last one I have is the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer. It says it's silicone free. Now when it comes out really weird, and I feel like they don't give you that much in here, but like for $4.99, and you know you can get a discount because it's Wet n Wild, or it's just so priced so low because it's Wet n Wild, that this is a great primer to have. Like, it blurs your skin really nicely, and makeup just goes on and glides on it smooth and easy. So I recommend that. So that ends on my drugstore primers. Now we're gonna get into my high-end and drugstore, my drugstore and affordable foundations. I'm starting from my drugstore one, since there's only one. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Freshwater Foundation. I wear the shade 515 I think it's called Deep Copper. I know it's called Copper though, but this is what it looks like. This foundation looks amazing. My mom told me she likes this foundation on me more than a lot of my high-end foundations, and I was shocked, but like I can see what she means. Like it looks really nice on the skin. I actually think it looks really similar to my Lisa Eldridge I have on right now when I wear it. So let me know if y'all want me to do a comparison of this to the Lisa Eldridge foundation, because this one's only I think like $11.99 and hers is like, I think it's like $60 something it cost me, 64, 66, something like that. I don't remember, but I feel like this is a good contender for that, and I think it'd be interesting to see a video on how they both wear throughout the day. So let me know down below if you're interested or not, and we could do that. Next, I have two Catrice foundations, believe it or not. So this is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation in the shade 85 Chestnut Beige. So this stuff is really nice. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Fenty foundation that originally came out. The original one Rihanna came out with, the matte one. They say this is a dupe for that one. I personally don't agree. I like this one better than the Fenty one, to be honest. I like the Hydrating Fenty foundation, not the original one. I feel like it was a little too drying, and I don't feel like this is drying like that's drying. So I don't see them as being the same, but I've heard people say that they are the same. So take that for what you will. If you want to try it out to see if it's a good Fenty dupe, then I guess you should. But I'm gonna just stick to this one, especially since it's only like $11.99. The only thing is they're taking this one out of Ulta. So I don't know if Catrice is leaving Ulta, because I've seen a lot of stuff go on sale as far as complexion goes. Like this foundation, they clearance out in the shades for me. The concealers in the shade for me got clearance out, and you can't find it anymore. So I'm like, I don't know if they're just clearancing out the shades for people my skin tone and what's going on with that. But ain't looking good, Catrice. I'm not feeling it. The last Catrice foundation I have is the True Skin Hydrating Foundation, which I feel like you shouldn't be surprised about. I wear the shade 92 Warm Spices. This is, I think, the second to last shade that they had on Ulta's website, but this foundation looks amazing. Like, if you want that your skin but better look, I feel like this one is a really good dupe for the Rare Beauty foundation. And since this one's only, I think, like $11, and the Rare Beauty is like, I think, isn't it like 29 or 30, something like that. It's still cheaper than that one. It's not by like a whole lot, but it's by enough to where you could buy the matching concealer to this one and still have paid less than buying the matching concealer to hers and her foundation. I think you'd save like 20 bucks if you did that, because their concealer to match this is $6. Now I personally thought that concealer was horrible, but you know, you might like it, but I know I love the foundation, so it was going up in here. So now we're gonna get into my affordable concealers. And then I have one extra one when it comes to my drugstore concealers, just because I have one that I use for brightening and the other ones I just use as my normal concealer. So I figure adding one brightening concealer to give you an idea of how you get brightness in the inner corner wouldn't hurt. But I do have a gripe about that concealer and how you can't find all the shades in stores. But we'll get there when we get there. So the first affordable concealer I have is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer. I believe that's the name of the concealer. I wear the shade 11. This concealer is amazing. Like, I wasn't that big on the foundation list. I felt like it looked really cakey on the skin. And it was really thick and hard to blend. So if they come out with like a tinted moisturizer or like a more, you know, hydrating or nicer version of foundation, I'd be willing to try it. But that one was just a little too thick for me. So I decluttered both of mine. I had a summer shade and a winter shade, but I just got rid of it because I was like, I'm never using this. I'm never reaching for it. I'm never even thinking about it. But I would always think about this concealer though. So this concealer is amazing. I think they had 40% off sale recently on their Complexion. And I think they're still having a sale on their website right now. I'm not sure. I think their Cyber Monday sale was going on when this video is going up. I don't know if it's still up now. I know I always do that. I need to stop. I'm sorry. The next one I have is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. I wear the shade Medium Dark 145. As you can see, mine is kind of old because it's like turning colors at the top. But this concealer is really nice. You can find this at Ulta, and you know Ulta gives you coupons. I think this was on sale at Ulta while I'm filming this video right now. Don't quote me, I honestly don't remember. I know the BH Cosmetics holiday palette is like, I think 30% off there right now, and then they got that $5 off 15 coupons, so you can end up getting it for 16 bucks, and it costs 29, so that's almost 50% off if you're interested. Random side note. But yeah, I really like this concealer. I like this shade, and then I had a darker shade too, but this shade was the one I usually reach for the most to highlight with, because I feel like it looks really nice on the skin. Now, I wasn't crazy about the foundation. I'm actually, you're about to see that in the decluttered video coming up after this video that I'm about to film. But yeah, I don't know what it is. They always end up making red undertones for people. My skin tone is like, I don't have a red undertone. And after you get past a certain point with tan, like all black people don't have red undertones. Like some of us have golden undertones, some of us have olive undertones, some of us have neutral undertones. Like, I feel like right when they get to shades like me, they just decide all of us are red, and it's like, but I'm not red. So what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Anyway, The last concealer I have to talk about from the affordable category is the Catrice Liquid Camo High Coverage Concealer. I have the shade 60 Latte Macchiato. This is the color of it. I've used a good portion of this. I'm trying to use some of all my concealers up to highlight. So sometimes I'll use a concealer just to highlight my face, and then I use other ones to put underneath the eyes. So this is one I would use for both, but I do have ones that I use just to highlight underneath my eyes or just to highlight my face, and you'll see one of those soon. But this is a good concealer. Only thing is, again, the shades for people my skin tone, they're getting rid of all of those on Ulta's website, so that's why I put it in the affordable category. Aside from the fact you can't buy Catrice in drugstores, you can buy Essence in drugstores. So the Essence products I have to show you later will be in the drugstore category, because you can actually go into CVS and buy Essence makeup, but you cannot do it when it comes to Catrice. Okay, now I guess I'll start off with the Brightening Concealer, the one I wanted to give my gripes about so we can get done with it and move on. So this is the Incognito concealer from Wet n Wild, the all day full coverage concealer. What I don't like about this one, this is the darkest shade they sell in the store. What about everybody else with this shade? So I have to go to your website and buy it. I can't go to the drugstore and pick up your drugstore makeup from your drugstore brand like everyone else can. Why not? Because every drugstore I've gone to, this is the deepest shade they have. I'm like, so people that aren't like this colors, I mean, Karen can't even go in the store and pick up a concealer because look how light this is. I'm like, what's going on? How are you a drugstore brand, but I can't go to the drugstore and pick up any of your newest stuff when it comes to complexion? Like with the tinted moisturizer, the lightest shade they had, I think, was like medium. And not that I wear tinted moisturizer, as we know, but my friend Serena Rose recommended it. Like, I can't even go to the store and pick up my shade. I gotta wait for Wet n Wild to mail it to me, because apparently brown people don't go to the drugstore and pick up drugstore makeup. Or at least that's what Wet n Wild thinks. But I mean, when you're owned by the same brand as Physicians Formula, should I really be surprised? Because I feel like I shouldn't. Lately, I feel like they've been just taking the Physicians Formula route. So that's why you don't really see me talking about nothing that they got going on, because it's like, you're on the Physicians Formula train. Okay, I see you. Just stay over there and don't come over here with that. So the 3 concealers I have that you can actually pick up in a drugstore, you know, like CVS or Walgreens and whatnot. We're going to start off with my favorite one. Kathleen Lice was raving about this a while ago, and I went and picked it up, and I'm so glad I did. I have the Milani Conceal Plus Perfect Long Wear Concealer. I wear the shade 165 Deep Tan. As you can see, I have used the crap out of this. Look how much is missing, y'all. Like, look at that. It's a good portion of that missing. Like, over half of this product is gone. That's how much I love this concealer. And y'all know, as much makeup as I have, the fact that like I have this concealer going is a big deal. And I have another one at home where half of it is going too, because I love this stuff that much. Whenever I put on a drugstore foundation, I most likely reach for this concealer, and then I'll mix it with like another concealer or use another concealer with it. But that is one of my go-to drugstore concealers. Like, it is simply stunning, amazing, lovely. I love it. I think Morgan Turner compared that to the Kosas concealer, if I remember correctly, and I did a video on it, and I didn't think they were similar, but I'll try to remember to see if I did that or not. I think I did, but you can search my channel to see if I did, and I have a playlist called Battle of Lil where all that type of stuff goes. The next one I have is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear More Than Concealer in the shade 415 Honey. This is a really good concealer. Like, you know how everybody's trying to make Shape Tape dupes like 5 million years ago? This is one of those Shape Tape dupes, and it's a really good one. It has a gel-like formula that you blend underneath the eyes, and it blends out smoothly and nicely, but it gives a really good amount of coverage. So I really like this concealer for that. And when I want a Shape Tape dupe, this is one of the Shape Tape dupes I use. We have like 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or 15 now, because you have that one, and you have the other one I'm about to talk about now, which is the CoverGirl True Blends. I can't read the rest of that because they put the CVS sticker Lovely right on top of it. But I have the shade D100 Golden Caramel. This is a really nice shade. If you all haven't realized, I like shades like this. They have like a really nice golden undertone to put underneath here, because you brighten where your face is naturally highlighted with a lighter concealer. So that's why I like to use this concealer, because it's lighter in this area and in my forehead, and right here I've noticed when I don't have on makeup. So I like this concealer a lot. I like this color better than the L'Oreal color, and this is like a gel formulation type concealer as well, when you blend it out, and it just blends into the skin effortlessly and nice. But I usually end up reaching for the L'Oreal one, because I'm the type of person who likes to put the same brands together. So when I'm wearing the L'Oreal foundation, obviously I'll use the L'Oreal concealer as opposed to the CoverGirl concealer. On occasion I defer, but it's a general rule. That's just what I like to do, because that's just how my brain works when it comes to stuff like that. Now we're gonna get into our what is it, our affordable powders. So I have 3 affordable powders. I have 1 press, and then I have 2 for underneath the eyes. So the first one I have is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic setting powder, and I have the yellow one. This is the shade. Y'all know I love me yellow powder for underneath the eyes, so I got this one. But it's really good powder. The only thing is it's so tiny and small, but as you see, I still haven't used it up, but that's because I use so many other of my high-end stuff. If y'all haven't noticed, I'm just like a high-end luxury snob. So even though I have these great affordable drugstore things, I usually don't use them a lot, which is why I still have almost a full thing of this. The same thing with this, the Catrice HD baking and setting loose powder. I have the shade Cool Beige. That's when I was trying to get into the shades that other people use with this more beige shades, which I don't mind every now and again. Like, this looks good in certain situations. It's just this isn't one I reach for a lot. But again, I own a whole bunch of drugstore things. Plus I like the light illusion one that they had way better. Like, I have that one underneath my eyes right now, but they don't make it anymore. Like, they don't have it on their website, they don't have it on Ulta's website anymore. So I don't know why they had to give it to my favorite powder. It was a really good dude for the Hourglass setting powder that they had, and it was only like $6. So I was like, what were they thinking getting rid of it? But I heard they do like a lot of seasonal makeups. But my whole thing is, I feel like if you have good core products, why would you get rid of them? But anyway, this one they still have permanently, so if you want to try it out, it is a good powder. It's not as nice as my light illusion, but I mean, it works just fine, and it looks nice for people who like this shade. So I wanted to give you an option with another shade as opposed to just all the yellow powders all the time. So that's another reason I brought that one in. Plus, it's a really good powder. The last one I have to talk about as far as the affordable brands go is the Aqua Assurance Compact Foundation from JCat Beauty. I have the shade Caramel. So I like to use this with that Catrice foundation. I'll put this on top of it to set the face. I mean, the True Skin Catrice foundation, and I feel like it looks amazing. Like, this looks amazing on my face. And then I use obviously the Catrice setting powder in the beige one I just showed you, and my face looked so nice when I did that video that you all saw. This stuff works magic. I don't use it that often though, because again, I'm a high-end snob. Now let's get into my drugstore powder. So I'm gonna start off with the Essence My Skin Perfector Loose Fixed Powder Instant Blur Effect Natural Matte Finish. I have the shade 40 Tan. This is what it looks like. This powder is amazing. It's only, I think, like $6. I heard a lot of people talking about how they didn't like this powder. I thought it was amazing. But I heard Juicy Jazz said a lot of the people in her audience said like it didn't blend well and it was patchy or something like that. I didn't have any of those issues with this powder. I plan on buying some more of this powder when I run out of it, so I have a drugstore alternative to show you all in videos, because this stuff is amazing. I don't know what people's problem is, but I think it's great, and that's why it's in this video. Next, I have this is a classic. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade Medium Deep. Now, I saw Jackiana putting this one underneath her eyes. I use it for my face personally, not for underneath the eyes, but I can see why she would use it for underneath the eyes, because it looks just that much darker than the one I use by the one I just showed you off from Catrice. I feel like it's like maybe that much darker, so I can see why she puts on these eyes. I prefer to put this color on my face though. That's just personal opinion, especially when it comes to wintertime, because I'm lighter than I normally am in the summertime. So I feel like this one just works a little bit better for me. But to each his own, you should put it wherever you feel like. The point is you should get it because it's good. And I think it's under like $10. I think it's like $8.99. And that's at CVS, and CVS usually like tries to rape you when it comes to makeup prices. Like, they're just outrageous. Because they give you all those coupons and stuff, I guess they get it down to like a minimum price where they still make a decent profit. But I feel like they just start out at an outrageous price point. The last one I have to talk about is the Wet n Wild Loose Setting Powder in the shade Banana. They give you a ridiculous amount of powder. This is like the size of those ABH ones, but this is only $4.99. This stuff is amazing for $4.99. Oh my goodness. Like, I had to make myself stop using this stuff for a while, because it's like I was like, when it came to drugstore stuff, I would only use this and then use like that Essence one that I'd be eating. I'm like, you need to use other things. Like, I mean, and you're not gonna run out of this anytime soon. You see how huge this tube is for $5, girl. If you don't grab that powder, if you like a banana powder like I do, you need it. Now, the last foundation powder I have to talk about for the drugstore is the Infallible 24-Hour Long Wear Foundation in a Powder. I have the shade, what shade is this? I have the shade 365 Copper, so it matches my foundation liquid shade. If y'all remember, I said that shade was 515 Copper. So this is what it looks like. It has a real perfumey smell to it, like I had told you all before, but this stuff looks so nice on the skin. Like, I can use 1 pump of foundation, maybe 2, and go in with this, and it'll give me all the rest of the coverage that I need that I didn't get when I put the liquid foundation on. So I would definitely recommend this. This is truly a stunner, a winner, all that. I absolutely love it, and you need it. So the last thing we're gonna talk about is setting sprays. Now I kept simple with the setting sprays. I have two affordable ones. Sorry, I have two drugstore ones and one affordable one. So I'm gonna start off with the affordable one. You should probably be surprised about what the affordable one is, but it's the Morphe Mini Continuous Setting Spray. I have the full size, so they had this set where you could get a mini and a full size. And since I was using this setting spray a lot of the time for my affordable alternative, I was like, let me go ahead and get that set. But this is actually a really good setting spray. And y'all know I'm not a Morphe fan at all. So if I'm saying something's good for Morphe, you need to take note, because it is a big deal. Because I don't compliment Morphe on anything. I'm sorry, I just don't. I'm not a fan of their business practices because they're shady. And they're dishonest with their customers, and I'm not with that. You want my money, you should probably be honest and transparent, because that's the only way you're gonna get my money, is a general rule. So this setting spray is good though, and I like it. So I figured I'd include it in here to give y'all an affordable one, because you might not necessarily want to have to run out to the drugstore and get this stuff. And I know the drugstore stuff you can still buy it where it's Ulta, but you know. The next one I have is the Making It Lasting Fix Setting Spray. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Urban Decay all-nighter. I tried it out for y'all in a video a while ago, and y'all really liked that video. It has over like 3,000 views, so it's a good product. You should check it out. The last one I have is the e.l.f. Beauty Shield. I like to use this when I preset my makeup, so y'all know when I let the makeup blend into the skin, I press it in with that. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.